We are kicking off with Elimination Chamber as John Cena and Bianca Belair punch their tickets to WrestleMania 41, and more has come to light about WWE's plans for their latest PLE. Despite online speculation, Ringside News can confirm that Cena and Belair were always the planned winners, with Cena's win and shocking heel turn being mapped out in January. As for Belair, there was never a scenario where anyone else was going to win the Women's Elimination Chamber match, despite reports online claiming otherwise. The biggest shock at Elimination Chamber came at the end when John Cena turned heel, which wasn't just a huge moment, but one of WWE's best-kept secrets. Ringside News reports that the secrecy on this level, though, isn't just for John Cena, but part of a bigger strategy WWE has been using to keep angles from leaking. WWE pulled off the shocking moment by keeping Cena's turn under wraps and even misled people within the company about the match order. Reports originally stated that the Rock and Cody Rhodes segment would happen earlier in the night, but WWE had planned it and Cena's heel turn to close out the show all along. This was all a part of the plan to keep Cena's turn a surprise, and The Rock's creative was handled by a close-knit group of himself, Brian Gewirtz, and Triple H. Most of WWE's roster and backstage personnel were left completely in the dark about Cena's heel turn until it happened, despite Triple H having seemingly hinted at something big in the past. In past media scrums, Triple H had alluded to fans thinking things were going one way, only for WWE's storyline to go in an entirely different direction. The game didn't outright state that WWE was intentionally misleading people, but his comments suggest that WWE is willing to throw fans off to keep their storylines top secret. A WWE source previously confirmed to Ringside News that higher-ups kind of had a good idea who leaks information and where it ends up. With WWE seemingly knowing who the leakers are, it's not surprising that WWE is deliberately putting out certain details to make it seem like plans are shifting at the last minute. Instead of changing plans, though, WWE is controlling their narrative from behind the scenes the entire time, which, last weekend, resulted in one of the most shocking moments in decades. Now, John Cena will challenge undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41, but with WWE's effective record of keeping secrets, anything can happen ahead of the big event. Do you think WWE is playing the long game and intentionally misleading insiders to keep their surprises intact? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Ahead of Elimination Chamber, The Rock spoke at length about wanting the soul of Cody Rhodes, and while he did claim a soul in Toronto, it was that of John Cena. The idea of The Rock claiming souls had become something of a meme among fans online, and now AEW has seemingly gotten on the soul bandwagon. On AEW Collision, Toni Storm had a video segment from her home where she was recovering after previously being attacked by Mariah May. Storm spoke about their upcoming Hollywood ending at AEW Revolution, and in the most notable line, said that she would leave my soul at home when we meet. Is this just a coincidence, or is AEW riding the wave of WWE's storytelling? Either way, Storm is ready to tear May apart with the Women's World title on the line later this month. We are looking ahead to tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw, as several notable matches have been confirmed for the show. It's been known for a while that Rhea Ripley will defend her title against Io Sky, but Adam Pearce has now confirmed that Bianca Belair will be around to watch the match in person. Belair will face one of these women at WrestleMania 41, and the EST will have an up-close look at the two superstars who hope to walk into WrestleMania as Women's World Champion. Tonight's Raw could prove to be a huge night for American Made, as the Creed brothers will challenge the War Raiders for the World Tag Team Championships. Also on the card, Ivy Nile will challenge Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria, and we'll have to see if American Made can win the gold on tonight's show. Fans can also expect huge names including CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, but one name fans shouldn't expect is John Cena. Despite the wrestling world clamoring for answers, Pearce didn't name Cena among those appearing tonight, and he had never been advertised for the show. Instead, Cena is advertised for the March 17th, 24th, and 31st episodes of Raw, which will take place in Brussels, Belgium, Glasgow, Scotland, and London, England, respectively. Fans will have to wait until then to possibly get some answers from John, but tonight's show will still be a stacked event, even without the WWE icon who shocked the world in Toronto. At Elimination Chamber, CM Punk's efforts to headline WrestleMania 41 were dashed in the Elimination Chamber as John Cena would win the men's chamber match. Punk was attacked by an already eliminated Seth Rollins in the match before Cena applied an STF, a move Punk was unable to break out of. In footage shared online, Punk was seen very upset and frustrated by the loss and had to be held back by security when he tried to go back into the ring after Cena won. As if losing the match wasn't bad enough, Punk had technical issues during the match as the light on his chamber pod kept falling off. One time this happened came when Damian Priest hit Seth Rollins with the Razor's Edge, and Rollins landed on Drew McIntyre, with the impact causing Punk's light to fall. This was recorded by fans in the arena who began a "fix the light" chant, and once Punk finally fixed the light, he got a big cheer from the Toronto crowd. Between this issue, the pain in the match, and losing, it was a rough night at the office for CM Punk in what was his first Elimination Chamber match in 13 years. Travis Scott got too caught up in the moment at WWE Elimination Chamber Toronto, and Dominik Mysterio isn't going to let things slide. On social media, footage of Scott attacking Cody Rhodes has been making the rounds, and the footage shows Scott landing an unintentionally brutal shot on Cody's face. The impact was so loud that fans in attendance winced, and while many fans online have been shocked, Dominik Mysterio found it hilarious. Taking to Instagram on March 2nd, Dominik reposted the footage on his stories and shared the laughing emojis, demonstrating that he thought Cody taking that unexpected shot was funny. Scott's involvement with the segment alongside The Rock and John Cena was already unexpected, and now the fallout from his role continues to grow. On the post-show, The Rock teased that Scott may return to WWE and even hinted that the rapper could step in the ring as a competitor when the time is right. Elimination Chamber Toronto also marked the return of Jade Cargill, who has made it clear she's done playing by the rules. After her return, which saw her take out Naomi, Cargill took to Instagram to break her silence but didn't directly address her attack. Instead, Jade had a lot to say about the obstacles she's faced in the video directed at fellow AEW alum Ricky Starks. She said, "There are wolves in the shape of women all around me. I can see the way they look into my eyes. I am not them, and they are not me. I weathered every storm that was meant to break me. You can't help but to talk about me. I saw the look in your eyes as soon as I walked in the door, mapping out how to send me to my demise." Cargill added that she's not in WWE to be liked, but here because she earned it. She said, "They demand proof I belong, as if my scars weren't enough, losing my mother while being a mother, carrying the weight of it all while still thriving," she continued. "You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. I'm here because I earned it. Every scar, every loss, every step. I will not strike myself for anyone. Don't mistake my grace for weakness. I've played by the rules long enough. Now it's time for mine. I am one of one. I am that bitch." Cargill's attitude is similar to her AEW days, where she called herself that bitch, and now she's bringing that energy to WWE. What do you think of Jade Cargill's latest message? Does this mean Naomi was her attacker all along, or is there more to the story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Jade Cargill had been out since November and was written off TV with a brutal attack in the parking lot, but there were conflicting reports about the reason behind this storyline. Though some reported that Jade was fine and her break was simply for storyline purposes, it was also reported that the former AEW star was dealing with a very real injury. On the Elimination Chamber post-show, Triple H discussed the surprise return of Jade after months away, and his comments suggested that she had been genuinely hurt. He said, "I know sometimes that seemed like an odd build or odd storytelling, the way it all went down over time. Sometimes it's very difficult to do. It's very difficult to tell a story when you don't know the outcome that you have in front of you yet. Is she going to be back? Is she going to be back soon or really long? You just don't have any answers." Triple H not knowing how long Cargill would be out certainly suggests she was injured, as if she hadn't been, the game would have had the option to bring her back whenever he wished. Now Jade is back and clearly believes Naomi is the one who attacked her, and it remains to be seen where her story goes from here now that she's returned from her injury-related break. Over to AEW Collision now, as a massive brawl broke out at the event between New Japan's Gabe Kidd and Mark Briscoe after the show went off the air. When AEW's camera crew caught up with Briscoe backstage, he was asked about an upcoming six-man tag team match at Revolution, but Gabe Kidd immediately interrupted. Gabe was furious about being flown to the event just not to be used and said he was looking at something embarrassing, which was Briscoe. Kidd slapped Briscoe, which led to the pair brawling, and security and officials tried to stop the pair, but the pair were able to get free and resume fighting. The second time officials stepped in, they were able to hold Briscoe and Kidd apart, but it certainly looks like a match between the pair is coming. The latest Collision had the difficult task of competing with WWE Elimination Chamber, and fans who stuck with WWE missed the tease of a major heel turn. FTR have been babyfaces since arriving in AEW and have aligned with Cope against the Death Riders, but on Collision, the tag team lost to the Undisputed Kingdom. After the match, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong offered to shake hands in a show of respect, but FTR refused, hinting that the pair could be setting up for a heel turn. A turn could be what helps propel FTR back into the AEW World Tag Team title picture, though what this would mean for their alliance with Cope remains to be seen. In 2024, New Japan shared a video with Kenny Omega and Hiroshi Tanahashi teasing at a possible team-up or maybe a singles match at Wrestle Dynasty. Of course, neither of those happened, as Omega instead faced Gabe Kidd at the event, and now more is known about the plans for the pair. Fightful Select reports that AEW's creative team had never formally discussed any storyline for the two, either as in-ring allies or as opponents. Sources in New Japan also confirmed that no booking plans were made for Omega and Tanahashi, and that the video was simply edited to fuel speculation. Fans may have been eager to see the pair work together, but that was never the plan, despite what some were led to believe by this well-edited video shared by New Japan. For years, JBL served as a commentator in WWE, and while he's not ruling out a return to the desk, there's simply no room for him right now. On the Something to Wrestle podcast, JBL made it clear he'd love to be back behind the desk, but right now the lineup is simply too strong to mess with. He said, "Of course I'd be interested, but there's not a spot available and I don't see one coming open. You have great commentators right now. I think Pat McAfee does a great job. I think Wade Barrett does a great job. I think Booker T is doing a great job. Corey Graves, I love those guys. You've got wonderful guys who are filling the roles incredibly well, better than I could do." JBL had previous stints as a color commentator, including a memorable one alongside Michael Cole in 2006 and 2007, but doesn't see that role for him again, as he explained. "Would I enjoy it? Of course I would. Yeah, I had a lot of fun being around the boys and a lot of fun working with Michael Cole, but there's no spot available, and so there's no future in a commentary role." JBL remains a respected name in the wrestling industry, and his sharp wit and expert analysis made him a standout as a commentator during his time behind the desk. With WWE's current team set, though, the former WWE champion doesn't see himself making a return anytime soon, despite his desire to don the headset again. Would you like to see JBL back on commentary, or is WWE's team fine as it is? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. At Elimination Chamber, music star Drake was seen in the crowd, and Logan Paul had some fun with this fact by referencing the feud between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. On his Chamber pod, Paul wrote OVO, the name of Drake's record label, October's very own, as well as Humble, one of Lamar's biggest tracks of 2017. The Maverick is always known to stir the pot, and he certainly did just that at Elimination Chamber, but would ultimately come up short in the match and fail to earn a WWE title match. And we're ending with Carmella, as it was recently confirmed that she is no longer part of WWE, but the former SmackDown Women's Champion has now signed a major contract. On social media, Big Event New York owner Tom Unger shared that Carmella, whose real name is Leah Van Dale, has signed a deal to be an exclusive client. It's unclear what this exclusive deal involves, but fans can expect Carmella to be a part of autographed signings and appearances for Big Event NY going forward. Carmella's last match in WWE came in March 2023, and she would then take time off due to pregnancy, and we'll have to see what's in store for the ex-superstar outside of the promotion.